Did you hear about the new DJI Action Camera? It's called the DJI OSMO Action. A look at all the leaked images and what we think the specs are going to be coming right up. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Felix with Quadcopterguide, and on this channel I cover a lot of drone and gadget rumors as well as tutorials and reviews, so if you're new here, please consider subscribing. But today let's talk about this new action camera from DJI, the OSMO Action. Now, as you may have seen, DJI sent out announcements for their Unleash Your Other Side event, which will take place at 9 a.m. Eastern on May 15th. And at this event, we expect to see this new OSMO Action. As you might have seen in one of my previous videos, I covered a bunch of the previous leaked images that were posted by Stephen Divish. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the further leaked images that we've seen in the last couple of days, as well as some of the rumored specs of this thing and how it might compare to the GoPro Hero 7 Black. All right, let's jump into some of these leaked images and check those out in detail. So if we check out the images with the kind of drawing and the early prototypes, or if that's the actual final version, I'm not sure. There is a little variance between some of these, so just kind of be aware of that. The final product could be a little bit different than these. Under the lens, you can see there's kind of a black elongated bar. At first, it almost looks like an air intake, but that would make zero sense if this thing was waterproof as is. So I think that might actually be a kind of microphone array to help reduce wind noise and just to make the audio quality maybe even a hair better than the Hero 7. Of course, prominently on the left side, you see the huge LCD display. I expect the LCD on the front to be a full color display, which you can of course turn off. But if you're aiming the camera at yourself, kind of a vlog style, then it's always nice to see your framing and what your exposure looks like. On the top there appears to be two buttons and perhaps another microphone for noise reduction. And of course on the back, another big LCD display, just like we see on the Hero 7. One important note is if you don't want to miss out on leaks like these, be sure to sign up for the email list. You can do that by following the link on the screen here, or just heading over to quadcopterguide.com/subscribe. Now what's interesting about these images, if you look at the top right corner of the lens, everything looks rounded and the camera body itself is kind of squared off. In terms of the image sensor, I don't think we're going to see a sensor larger than the 1/2.3 inch that we've gotten used to in these kinds of action cameras, as well as the Hero 7 from GoPro. I just don't think that DJI is cheating physics anyhow in these compact bodies. Some of the rumors are that we're going to see an IMX377 sensor that is apparently one better than on the GoPro Hero 7 Black, because the Hero 7 Black features an IMX277, so it just seems like it's the kind of newest version of that. Will the Hero 8 from GoPro feature that same sensor? Your guess is as good as mine, but it does make sense that they would use that same sensor, unless they're going to do something super crazy this time around. Let's see. Now the big question, of course, is the field of view of the lens. Now, of course, rumor is that the image won't have that wide angle barrel distortion, kind of almost fisheye look as the GoPro does. We'll see how DJI plans to do that, if they're doing it with the lens or with software. The field of view on this camera at its widest is rumored to be 145 degrees. Now compare that to around 133 to 149 on the Hero 7 Black. That is right in line with the same kind of angle, the wide angleness that is similar to the same field of view you get on the GoPro. Now, why was the GoPro Hero 7 Black a range? It just depends on if you're looking at 4:3 or 16:9 for the field of view. And on the Hero 7, that's 133 to 149 degrees. The shutter is supposed to go from 1/8,000th of a second to 120 seconds. For video, I expect to see 4K at 60 frames per second, and also an 8 times slow motion. Now what does 8 times slow motion mean? So if you slow down 30 frames per second, 8 times, you're left with 240 frames per second to get that normal 30 frames per second look. So I expect it to have 240 frames per second. It's also rumored to have HDR and time-lapse photography built in, right in the cam. In terms of shooting modes, I expect to see single and auto exposure bracketing, as well as continuous shooting, countdown shooting, and multiple continuous shooting, as well as interval shooting. Of course, if there's more images that leak or specs that are released, I will update the article on the blog, so be sure to check that out for sure. If you enjoyed taking a look at those leaked images, give that video a like, and of course for more on the OSMO Action as well as other drones and gear, be sure to subscribe.